Good morning students, I am Shomajit sir. Today I am here to deliver my lecture on topic physical change and chemical change. This is from the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? So watch the entire lecture to gain basics out of it. So without any delay, let's start with the topic physical change and chemical change from the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? So let's start. So let's start with the topic physical change and chemical change. So we see here first that changes in energy are always accompanied by a particular physical or chemical change. Alright. So changes in energy are always accompanied by physical or chemical change. So we'll see these changes one by one. First is a physical change. So what happens in a physical change? The changes in which no new substance is formed are called physical change. So what is a physical change? The changes in which no new substances are formed is called physical change. The molecular composition remains totally same. So for example, the molecular composition of ice and water is not changed. The energy needed to bring a physical change is equal to the amount of energy required to revise the change. There is no change in energy. So in the physical change, there is no change in energy, and even the molecular composition of ice and water does not remain changed. Right. So here what we have learned, in a physical change, no new substances are formed. The changes are reversible and temporary. So we can see that changes are reversible and temporary, and the reaction get reversed if the cause producing the changes is removed. For example, water on freezing forms ice, and ice on melting forms water. Alright, so for example, water on freezing it forms ice, so water get converted to ice on freezing, and ice get converted to water on melting. So different examples are there. One is dissolution of sugar in water, next melting of ice, freezing of water, boiling of water, melting of wax. So these are the examples of physical change. Now moving to chemical change. What is a chemical change? So what is a chemical change? The change in which the molecular composition is completely changed and a new product is formed is called chemical change. So in chemical change, new product is formed and the chemical composition is completely changed. Alright, so here a new product is formed. So the changes in chemical change are irreversible and permanent. So here the changes are irreversible and permanent. A change, alright, so a chemical change cannot be reversed by changing or altering the experimental changes. So in chemical changes it cannot be reversed. Alright, so during a chemical change the energy changes occur. So in chemical change the energy changes occur, and there is an energy difference in breaking of old bonds in reactants and formation of new bonds in products. Alright, so again I repeat, during a chemical change the energy changes occur, and there is an energy differences in breaking the old bonds in reactants and forming a new bonds in products. So we can see here the example of chemical change. One is burning of wood or paper. So burning of wood or paper, burning of camphor, sowing of milk, burning of candle, and digestion of food. Alright, so when we burn a paper or wood, it get converted into another state. It will not return back to, if I burn a wood, will it return back to wood? Never. Alright, so if I burn a wood, it will get converted into ash. Similarly, when I burn paper, it will get converted into ash. It will not revert back and form ash to paper. Alright, so burning of camphor, sowing of milk, burning of candle, digestion of food. So these all are the chemical changes. Now let's see the differences between a physical change and a chemical change. So let's see the differences. So a physical change is the change of matter that occurs without changing the chemical composition of matter. All right. So what is a physical change? A physical change is a change of matter which occurs without changing the chemical composition of water, whereas a chemical change is a change of chemical composition of matter. So physical change is usually reversible and chemical change is usually irreversible. Third point is no third product in a physical change we have new products are not formed. All right. So no new products are formed in a physical change, whereas in a chemical change new products are formed. Fourth point we can see here, some changes occur when heating or cooling is done, whereas in chemical change changes always involve absorption or release of energy. So fifth point here we see changes have no effect on chemical bond of molecules of substances, and chemical change have a direct effect on chemical bond of molecules in a substance. So two main points you have to know, that in physical change no new products are formed, in a chemical change new products are formed, and physical change is a reversible process and chemical change is the irreversible process. Now student, these are the homework questions. First question is define physical change. Second, define chemical change. Third, write at least 5 differences between physical and chemical change. So here in this video lecture I have discussed about physical change, chemical change and differences. Alright, as well as the example of physical changes and chemical changes. Thank you student. This was all about the entire video lecture. We have discussed about the topic physical change and chemical change. This was from the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? So stay at home, stay safe. I'm Shomuji sir signing off for today, and again we'll meet in the next class. Thank you students.